guard is waiting for another to come take his shift. The guards inform Horatio of the ghost sightings. The three men talk about what they have just seen. Horatio informs the other two about how Hamlet Sr. killed Fortinbras in a duel for the land. They agree the ghost resembled the dead King Hamlet. Horatio tells the men that they should tell Hamlet about the ghost. King Claudius talks about mourning his brother's death and also thanks the people of the kingdom for their support. King Claudius talks to Cornelius and Voltimand about stopping the attack from Fortinbras. King Claudius tells Polonius that Laertes has permission to leave and go to France. The king then tries to console Hamlet about his father's death. Hamlet is insulted, but the king pleads with him not to return to Wittenberg. Queen Gertrude asks Hamlet to stop mourning over his father's death and asks him to be happy for her new marriage. Hamlet sulks alone in his room about the overwhelming news he got about his father's death. On top of that, he is dealing with his mother's betrayal and possible affair. He thinks about how his mother used to love him and wonders how she could have done this to him. Horatio, Bernardo, and Marcellus walk in, surprising Hamlet and bringing news about his father's ghost. Hamlet is stunned and tells the three men he will stand watch tonight and look for the ghost. Laertes advises Ophelia to be careful of Hamlet. He says that she should be aware of the fact that Hamlet's responsibilities towards Denmark will come before her, and she will get her heart broken. She replies by saying she will listen to his advice, but makes him promise that he will follow his own words of advice. They are interrupted by Polonius. Polonius is shocked that Laertes hasn't left for France. So while Laertes is finishing up his packing, Polonius tells Laertes useful advice that he will keep with him while he is on his own. For example, don't lend or borrow money from a friend, but above all, be true to your own self. Then they say goodbye to one another. Polonius and Ophelia are left alone to talk about her relationship with Hamlet. Polonius tells Ophelia that he is disappointed in her for believing that Hamlet actually loved her. He tells her that her actions are embarrassing her family, and she needs to stop dating him immediately. Ophelia sadly agrees to what her father demands. Hamlet, Horatio, and Marcellus head outside towards where the ghost was last seen. The ghost returns, and the three men look upon it in fear. Hamlet then begins to ask the ghost why he is there and what he wants from him. The ghost beckons Hamlet to follow it. Hamlet is willing, but Marcellus and Horatio are skeptical and try to prevent him from following it. They fear the ghost will try to trick Hamlet into running off a cliff. Hamlet stops chasing the ghost and stops running. Hamlet calls out to the ghost to speak to him. The ghost tells Hamlet that he must be ready for revenge. The ghost continues and says that he is the ghost of Hamlet Sr., and if he ever loved his father, he needs to revenge his father's murder. Hamlet asks murder because he thought his father was bitten by a snake. The ghost tells Hamlet it was Claudius who poisoned Hamlet Sr., and he took his crown as well as his queen. He also tells Hamlet to get revenge, but not to hurt his own mind or his mother. Horatio and Marcellus catch up to Hamlet and ask him what happened with the ghost. Hamlet decides they should part ways from each other, but he forces them to swear on a sword that they won't tell anyone about the ghost.